the heck? Alright. Let's go, let's do this. Alright, started a little bit earlier today, simply because I have shit to do tomorrow morning. It's annoying me when I have shit to do, but what can I say? I have to make do with whatever I have. So we're gonna continue on with Ace Attorney. I don't need. There's one I also don't need. That. Voila. A little bit less fun. Alright, continue. Let's do it. Ah! Pop-ups. Gross. Oh. Oh. Go. Much better. Ah. Better. Alright. Yeah, sure. What was that last time? I believe phase 2 or something? Alright, so I'm gonna have to end earlier today, so 2:30 maybe? But we're in the middle of a trial here. So lots of plot twists. Gina! How are you holding up? I mean, she's making a strong face, but she's probably gonna cry when she's like, get her non-guilty verdict or some shit like that. Like, you're not guilty, thank you for believing in me. And she might act tough and all, but she's not. Why aren't you saying anything? Gina! Why? What's the point, eh? Why go all the trouble and fight all hard for the like of me? What? Nani? Well, you saw it, that picture. What picture? Yeah, the photo I hardly had rendered and recorded. I mean, that's something we need to discuss, lady. Why do you have a gun? You never point a gun. It's not a good thing to hold a gun, lady. So why do you have the gun? Huh? Lady? There's something you're not telling me. Is that nice? It's hopeless. Anyone who sees that's gonna think I did it anyway. Well, I won't pretend it wasn't a bit of a shock when the prosecution represented it to the court, huh? Surely if you're gonna have your doubts about me now, you can still think I'm innocent. Of course I can. Or did you do it or not? Why don't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened. Bruno's clever managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still would really like to hear it from you, see? Speak the truth, lady. Speak the truth. Alright then. Oh, she's not gonna you gotta do it. It was after we had a dinner together at your place, right, Iris? Then we all had a chat up in your office, didn't we? After that, I just couldn't get to sleep, so I slipped out and went down the street to 221 to Windy Bank's place. I had to know if Iris' story was there or not to hound the basket. I don't know what it's about or nothing, but if you ask me, there's something in it that Shums don't like. Something what don't want people reading. So that's why he lied. That's why he lied to Iris about sticking it in logo with a waiting bed for safekeeping. Why, huh? Yeah, it's a little bit shady as to, you know, why her look Shums. But you cannot read the shit. No one can read it. Just put it in there. I mean, I had no idea if that was gonna kick off, did I? Ah. I struck the lock and snuck inside. It was dark as locking in. So I gave the oil lamp on the counter a bit of a wick, and that's when... What do you think you're doing, Ank? I nearly died, I did. The next thing I knew... Oh. I grabbed the gun off the counter and was waving it in the air like I don't know what. What? You got scared and you hold a gun? I didn't think pickpocket went in for the armed robbery. The mental script. Have you got it? They don't leave a load of paper with you, a story. I beg your pardon? The hound of the something of order. If it's there, I want to see it. I'm sorry, young lady. I'll sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers. I don't want it! What would I do with it then? I just want to see it here, that's all. Oh, you want to see it, do you? I wonder if she'll really pawn it here or not. Please, just let me see it, and I'll go. Oh, very well then. But for pity's sake, stop waving my gun around, will you? Okay. So the old cove unlocked the unlocked the storeroom door, and we both went inside. I mean, it makes sense then, you know, how he would get the gun. And it was there, alright, the mantles. Man, chums weren't mine after all. You did all that just to check for me? I mean, it's a little bit weird though. Why would she do that anyway? Why would it matter? Anyway, then there was a bit of a kick-up out in the main bits of the shop. The Skulkin brother arriving on scene, yes. What's that noise? Yeah, what's that noise? Itchy? Someone's breaking in, another one? It's already open. Dear me, is there some burglar convention here tonight that I don't know of? I mean, I think I forgot to shut the door behind me. I'll come with ya and... Now don't be foolish, young girl, you must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstance. And with that, he took the gun out of me and walked back out into the shop. I hung back in the storeroom, like I said, straining my ear in the dark to hear what was going on. It sounded like they got into a bit of a scrap. I started to think I should help, see? So I was just about to go out the storeroom myself when... Bang bang. I hear a couple of shots goes off, I think. 2 shots, almost at the same time. And then there was right at my feet, lying face down on the floor. 2 shots? I was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it quick as I liked. Because you thought whoever had shot Mr. Windyman might come for you? Yeah, so I went to grab the old cove's gun. I figured I'd put it to fight. Why did you get unconscious though? But when I got a better look at him, I knew. He did. Windy Bang was a goner. Dead. I felt funny in me here, all of a sudden they're kind of easy. And after that, easy. That must be when you passed out. How did you pass out though? What? If I hadn't done what I'd done, Old Cove might still be alive. Did you tell the police everything you just told us? Of course I did. They didn't believe a word of it, did they? All they said was if I kept telling lies, I'll make things even worse for me. It's alright, don't worry, just stay strong a little longer. Bruno's about to put the real culprit to the mill. I mean, a bit on the complicated side. That Egbert Benedict. Who's that, boy? Still remember, look how he looked at me, like I was nothing. He was there that night. You didn't know, did you? We don't know his real name yet, but I'm convinced that he's involved somehow. That might help you a little bit. What is the purpose, though? There's absolutely like no purpose. We're gonna leave it all in Rudo's capable hands now, alright? Mr. Nada Hodo. Naruhodo? Nada Hodo. How come you trust me? I don't get it. Well, because it's how I do things here. I mean, have you forgotten what happened here before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago. It's not wrong. She is not wrong. Hack flies. You got to bog Trodo off with it. Even though he was a killer. Was he a killer though? Was he? No, I could never forget that. He could never. Oh, I did what I thought was best at the time. I mean, isn't we all what we always do? Like we try to, you know, do. Well, maybe some people do try to do their worst as well. But I mean, most of the time, you know, people would try to do their best. And if it happens down along the line that, you know, we did something wrong, then no regrets, right? It's what we thought was the best recourses of everything. So we found out that we made a mistake, At least that way, you know, we won't have anything else to say. Hello, Lance. But the pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget that I also made you improvements. I told you that be on your side to the bitter end, no matter what. That's almost romantic. How are you doing, Lance? But what if I'm lying? Then I'll whoop your ass, lady. If I found out you lie, I'll whoop your ass. You could be working to get another killer off the hook for all you know. Oh crap. You do that, I'll kill you, lady. I'll kill you myself. How about it? Was accused of murder. Strange as it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. I was sure that no one would believe it wasn't who had done it. I'm doing good. There was one person who stood up for me, who believed me, was prepared to defend me. My best friend. Yay. Ryunosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me and I'll do the rest. I was so happy I cried, but even then, somewhere inside me I couldn't help thinking, surely he doesn't really believe in me. Not completely. But I was wrong. He believed in me. The power of friendship. As soon as my trial began, it was so obvious that he had an absolute unwavering belief in me. Having a steak dinner tomorrow? What am I having tonight? Like dinner? Just ate some rice. That's what you want to know? You want someone to believe in you, have to believe in another person first. I promise you, Gina, that no matter what happens, I'll keep believing in you. Ate some rice and some shrimps, I believe. Veggie shrimps and rice. Oh, it was, yeah, it was daikon. Saute daikon. Call it like white carrot. Even though I'm never even and a no good liar, who says that? Yourself. liar. You are not like the gilded unknown, okay? That's right, you're our friend, Genie. Hey, so we know you better than you think. Yeah. We come to the conclusion that you are someone we can trust. That's really all we need to know. Exactly! Sounds nice. I mean, it's better than nothing. I mean, when you're living alone, you do whatever you need to. Make it simple and not too complicated. As long as someone is gonna buy me food or cook me something. We have to make do with whatever we have, okay? Good. Peanut butter jelly sandwich? I don't even have peanut butter and jelly in my home. Though I don't hate any of them. I just don't, you know, I'll eat it probably, but I don't have a natural tendency to crave for PB&J. The boy defending a defiant lawyer in my time, so I knew only too well. Yet next time, peanut butter? I'll probably cook some peanut butter chicken. Something. Or peanut butter ravioli. If I have peanut butter. I'll probably not do PB&J though. I mean the jam, I can make some, you know, jam sauce. With some chicken probably. Oh, Thunderbird. Peanut butter sauce, peanut sauce, the chicken, ravioli. This is a subpoena to do this. Yes. The subpoena was delivered to the communication station where the man works immediately. Peanut butter and chicken. I mean, it's a dish of the Southern Asian. With a peanut butter sauce. Daring omission of the third bullet in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector. I can only apologize, my lord. And there's also PDB. Although the defense chemical analysis of the blood of the thing speaks for a compelling argument, I cannot permit such an untried method to be used as evidence in the court. We don't hear that very often. Oh, yes, it's not, you know, something that is commonly shown here. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, dishes that is not in America. There's a opinion with decisions about in the building. Show him to the stand. Egbert Benedict. Who the heck are you, Egbert Benedict? I mean, Benedict Egg. What? Why are you two here? But sure, it's a short notice. But of course, my lord, as an upstanding member of London society, it is my pleasure to oblige. What the heck are you? Ashley Graydon, communication officer. Ashley? Mr. Graydon and I both work at London Central Communication Station. Now perhaps somebody would kindly explain what this is all about. You were apprised of the situation by the court officer on your way here, I presume. Something to do with a murder that took place at pawnbrokers on Baker Street. And some nonsense about me having been there in the night in question. That is the accusation. This is really beyond a joke, you know? Oh crap. Mad. Mad. Your response to the accusation made against you under oath. Peanut sauce? I mean, technically peanut butter is made by peanuts, so peanut butter is that. Do you consider the butter as a type of sauce? I mean, you can use both, you know, fresh peanuts and grind it and made it into sauce, so you can use basically peanut butter if you want to save yourself some work out of it. But it is definitely there. So some people use peanut butter because they don't want to deal with the hassle of grinding that shit. I mean, you actually have to, you know, toast it. Toast the peanuts, you know, fresh peanut and stuff, so it dries up a little bit, because there's a little bit of oil and all those kind of things inside, so you do want the oils, but you don't want all the, you know, waters inside, so you basically toast it, and then you grind it with all the oils and whatnot inside of it, and then you season it, and yeah, that's how you made a sauce. But some people just prefer the peanut butter because, you know, it's already ground up, and yeah. So it's made both ways. Gladly, my lord, gladly. The accusation. Naturally, I have occasion to make use of pawnbroking services from time to time. But are you seriously suggesting I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder? I have no intention of admitting to such an outrageous accusation, even if certain parties here claim that my blood was found at the scene. Useful sandwiches? Sure, okay. But that's what peanut butter is typically used for sandwiches here. Here, hey. Peanut is, well, the peanut sauce itself is like pretty much like diluted peanut butter. Sadly. I mean, the peanut butter, it's not on its own gonna be used like that, but I mean, peanut butter can be changed into sauce if you want. For the highest court in the land to be swayed by this self-professed detective's choice. It was the will of the jury, and our great British justice system demands that the jury's will is upheld. Then it would seem that we have a misfortune of the most inept assembly of jurors today. By golly! How long am I expected to be detained here? If following the defense cross-examination your involvement in this matter has not been established, you will be free to leave immediately. Good! Then I shall be away in time for afternoon tea, some small consolation. Let us not hold up Mr. Graydon any longer than necessary. Counsel proceed with the cross-examination. So we meet again, Mr. Egbert Benedict. Or is it Mr. Graydon? Or not answering the question? My apologies, you are? Defense lawyer, and we have met. If you say so, Ashley Graydon, enchanté. So, why are you throwing me a hat? I trust we can conclude it this quickly. I'm not holding a flashy hat while we do. Throw it to the garbage! Throw that shit to the garbage. Who wants your dirty ass hat? Gross! What were you using that for? Whoever met in the very pawnbrokery where the crime took place on the afternoon of the day in question. Though of course, Yeah, but who wants to make that into a sauce? Do they even sell? Like I just told you, there's a lot of cuisine that make peanut butter into sauce, including French, but also a lot of South Asian country do make that into sauce. I just told you, there are plenty of people who do that. You know places outside of America? I mean, Laos does that, Thailand does a lot of that, Vietnam does a lot of that. So in Vietnamese cuisine, there are peanut sauce. Well, how about Canada? I said America. I did not say the United States. I mean, even African, actually, a lot of African countries make that into sauces. He's under no obligation to answer such unrelated question. You can't be serious! So it's going to be basic. But are you serious suggesting I colluded with these thugs? Hold it! I am. This pair? I don't associate with criminals. Oh crap. Who introduced himself Egbert Benedict? Lie. I'd like to know who I have to thank for this. Who made this outlandish accusation against me? The young lawyer there in the black. This is a farce! Whose idea was it to permit an outsider to work in a British court anyway? The Supreme Justice Minister of Justice. I have no intention of making such an outrageous accusation. Where were you at around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir? That is past the hour at which I would normally retire, certainly. I was not in the company of this rapscallion. Can I vote to prove that?
Objection!
I mean, listen carefully, my learned Nipponese friend, for you to appear to be under a gross misapprehension on this point. The witness maintains he was not at the scene of the crime. He has no obligation to prove his absence. If your accusation is that the witness was present, it was you to prove it, yes. The obligation lies with you, that's true. When you make an accusation, the load of the proof falls onto your hand. In a court system, criminal court system, you will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions. A silent victory wiggle. Tiger, well, he just was here before the stream. Now he wanted to go outside. That means he wanted to sleep up until 3 AM. So probably you guys, 3:30, maybe 4. Probably you guys won't be seeing him because I'm gonna have to end my stream earlier today. I have shit to do tomorrow morning.
Hold it!
Blood was found at the scene of the crime. There's no question of that. Mr. Shom's chemical analysis are possibly identified the substance as such, but I'm not the only human to have blood running through my vein, am I? How can you be so sure that the blood is mine? It could equally be the blood of one of these two miscreants. Every blood has a significant different composition. It seems Mr. Shom's chemical is able... Spare me the science lesson! Who is this Shom's character anyway? Oh, I assume all Londoner would know the name. He's a great detective, a renowned detective. Great detective. So even you are unable to bring yourself to say great detective. I A great detective, you say? Psst. Now in the realm of fairy tale. Excuse you?
Excuse me.
What do you say? Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Skulking? Me? No, the other one. Right, I've had it up with you. How many times do I have to tell you? No, not you! You are not big bruv Skulky. It's the other one I want to talk about. Nash! Oh, cold-blooded wood! Ding ding. This is not a case of when Mr. Grader just spoke a thought went through your mind. Do you care to share your thoughts with the court? Eh? Me thoughts? I don't have none of them, it must be him. Answer the question! What went through your mind? I was just thinking. You were thinking! If he waved his arm around like that much more, I'll open up the wound again. Why, he took the bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. He ain't gonna be healed up yet. So it was, well, you know, I was worrying for him, and... Hellspell! Did you hear that? What? You have a wound. Your camera is what about you, it seems. On account of your injured arm. My lord. I have no idea what these two wretches are talking about. Certainly, I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to mindless insinuation. We know that someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet at the scene of crime 2 nights ago. And from the height of the bullet in the wall, that person was likely hit in the upper arm or their upper arm. How do you know it's in the upper arm? When people can move around, it could be the shoulder, shoulder blades, even the heart. Upper arm? That's a little bit precise. Very precise. Perhaps you allow the court official to examine your arm, sir? The left arm that you're currently clasping with your right hand as if in pain. No, I refuse. You have shown no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves. Accordingly, I'm not obliged to permit any such invasion of my privacy. Oh my, someone is very feisty. As already said, I'm completely uninvolved in all this. I've never had anything to do with that pawnbrokery where this fellow was killed whatsoever. I take offense at the insinuation that I was in any way involved. My. You claim to have nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Windybang's pawnbrokery. The defense would like that last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's formal testimony. Nothing. Something wasn't this? How my day went? Nothing out of the ordinary. For me, that. Went to work, came back home. something interesting. No.
Hold it!
Just a casual day at work. Currently on the lookout for an armchair to furnish my
Objection!
study.
Is that right?
Alright.
Excuse me!
Yeah, detective was there too. You were there too, in fact, weren't you, Inspector, that afternoon? You were! You were! Speak the truth, detective! Help me here. He was lying, wasn't he? He was lying. A liar! I do remember meeting yourself in the pawnbroker that afternoon. You and your young Japanese assistant and the accused were all present, as I recall. Was trying to acquire a particular item. Well, now... Oh, you're not gonna say anything about it, huh? I'm afraid I don't remember too clearly! Yo! What? I'm not going to lie and pretend I remember something that I don't. You know, from the camera that Holiday installed in MiniGames? Of course. Picture bear a striking resemblance to the witness, I would say. It's you! Exactly, which proves that Mr. was in the shop on the afternoon in question. See? I have photos, and at no point have I denied that fact. I merely entered the shop to peruse the article on sales and have a word with the broker, nothing more. Gregson, why are you protecting him? This makes no sense. Indeed, I understand why Mr. Graydon might be trying to cover his track, but why the detective too? I mean, he was the one, maybe it was about the information that was leaked internationally? Because they were mentioning that before. What do you think, Bruno? I think he has no intention of telling us anything. He's well aware that the less he said, the less chance he has of giving himself away. The complete opposite of hurting them. He seems to think that the more he says, the better. Well, at least I managed to prise a little and more information from the witnesses' lip. And thanks to the skulking brothers. They were the key to it after all, so he says that he had nothing to do with the Windibags. You know that's not true, yes. Perhaps now would be a good time to have a proper look through the court record. So I need to present something to him. So what do I present to him now is the question, and that's it. So this. What are we getting? Your government's secret being leaked. Foreign agency. Huh. Yeah, but that doesn't do anything. You know, even if I show this. Show him this? What do I present him? Should I present the disc to him? Such a hard thing to do. What's that do? It's not working. Conundrum. I mean, I'm gonna present it, but I'm not sure that's the right thing to...
Objection!
Oh, it is. I've seen this before. You were. Was supposed to mean something? It was redeemed by the defendant Miss Gina Lestrade that afternoon, however, somebody mysteriously appeared to try to take it from her. And that somebody was you, of course, wasn't it, Mr. Graydon? I've reiterated numerous times now you are mistaken, that was not me. I've never seen that disc before in my life. You may have escaped your notice, but there's a small smear of blood on the disc. Resulting from an abrasion of the thumb, perhaps. That's right. The surface of the disc is covered in hundreds of tiny little metal lumps. In the skirmish to acquire the disc, the thumb of the person who tried to take it suffered minor laceration. The written thing? Wait, what? I seem to have two written thing? What? What? Back? What are we talking about here? So while the disc bears the remnant of that skirmish in the form of the smear of blood, the thumb of the person in question must bear the remnant also, in the form of a scratch. Good gracious, indeed it must. Mr. Graydon, show me your thumb. You refuse to allow a court officer to examine your arms before. Are you now going to refuse to allow us to examine your thumb? Because I have no doubt that it bears a small scratch consistent with a smear of blood on the disc. Well. It seems I underestimated you. So you admit it now? You admit you have a scratch on your thumbs from when you attempted to take? Not sure how backward the delay goes. We're talking about how it looked like there was 2 samples of handwriting in the case record. Yes. Oh. Yes. Yes. It's not the same though. You mean this one, right? Whoops. This thing here, right? This one, as you can see, it's one of the evidence. It's on the 13th of February. And the other one is on the 15th of February. But it's written by the same person. It's about, you know, stuff that people pawn. So they pawn it on the 15th and you have, you know, redemption deadline on the 13th. So 2 months later. It says, you know, what the article was deposited and yada yada yada. So you show that receipt to the, you know, pawnbroker. And it's gonna give you stuff back. These are all the evidence submitted inside this case. Anyway, let's go back to it. The right evidence with the blood smear, it is. It has blood smear, but it's not from this case though, it's from another case before. We have like, you know, 2 months ago a case that, you know, involves this one as well. So we are like, you know, multiple stuff going on at the same time. So we actually, you know, determined from the blood samples that, you know, on this one, it was a thrice-fired Mason, which is another victim from another case. Previous case that we have played through. It's like about a case, you know, 2 months ago in the game. So we have like, you know, this person that was killed, and we were defending pretty much like the murderer, but we didn't know back in the time it was the murderer. So it's not his blood, it's someone else's blood, but it does have blood in it. I mean, right now we have this person that is shady as hell. And this in question we're talking about is here. It's like, you know, apparently inside, you know, this game there is like sort of like a chemical substances where they can use to spread on your blood smeared, and it's kind of, you know, shown a color depending on the chemical composition of that person itself, and each individual should be different. I highly doubt it because, you know, science. Maybe saying otherwise, but I'm not, you know. But it is. It is like, you know, if the 5th case, or usually in Ace Attorney, if you have played any of those before, like Phoenix Wright and whatnot, yeah, like case 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you progress, you know, through the game itself, the case get more complicated, but also more intertwined with previous cases and whatnot. So yes, Eggs Benedict. It's pretty funny, Egbert Benedict, but that's a fake name. He's currently going for Ashley's Grayson, but when we confronted him earlier, because he was basically trying to get that little disc here from our defendant here, which is the girl named Gina. There was a little bit of a skirmish, and that's how he left his blood on the disc. And since he was, you know, sort of tried to scam the disc out of that girl, he was very much giving a fake name. Now he's been subpoenaed because we're trying to link this case to him, and now he has to say his real name, which is, you know, Ashley Grayson. I think it has changed, right? Yeah, Ashley Graydon, not Grayson, Graydon. I mean, he's definitely an egghead though. Anyway. So you have a scratch on your thumb from when you attempted to take the disc from the defendant. Do you? Say yes or no. Boink. Order! Well, Mr. Graydon, it would appear there has been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc as you put it. No, quite the reverse. What are you trying to say? It's really quite simple, you see. The disc was mine from the outset. Is this some crime in taking an item that you own out of a pawn? What? It would seem, Mr. Graydon, that in this piece of evidence, my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident. Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about this now. No, I'm quite sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with a pawnbroker's murder. Right? So there's a note under the saying for McGilded, but the item belongs to me. So he's not denying that it's for McGild. Well, we're gonna go on a tough way to prove that it's not his thing though. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, the filthy gutterling, on the day in question. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night. Did I hear you correctly, sir? McGilded, you said, the famous London philanthropist? That was burned to hell, who perished in this very courtroom 2 months ago after being acquitted of a distinctly messy murder. Yes, it is. Yes, my lord, the one and the same. Good lord, Mr. Graydon, are you saying that Mr. McGilded and yourself were acquainted? Yes, that's correct. Oh, now we're making the link back to the previous case. Now here's the thing, we never knew who killed the previous, this Mr. McGilded, the one we were defended, even though he was shady as hell, so I was saying. We also don't know the motives behind it. He seems to be involved with a lot of shady businesses. So probably we're gonna discover in this case, or even in the subsequent cases if there are, was a big plot behind everything here. And even concerning the leakage of, information to foreign agencies, like government secrets we're talking about. Certainly expect to hear that name uttered here in my courtroom again. I mean, what do you have? You have the same defense lawyer and the prosecutor. According to what Gina told us, the disc was placed in the pawn on that fateful night 2 months ago. McGilded himself gave the instruction to deposit it at Wendy's bank. It's funny that Mr. Graydon here is claiming that this belongs to him then, isn't it? In all likelihood he's lying. He's a liar. So he appeared that afternoon at Wendy's order in order to get his hand on McGilded disc for some reason. Now the question is, why is he making, waiting all the time before getting back at this though? Hello Ali, how you doing? Was it fun last night when we do, Ultra Salmon Runner? We did not hit, did we hit puzzle level max? I don't think we did, right? When we're playing together. There's a note under the saying McGilded alarm item belongs to me. Liar! Would you care to explain how this belonged to you? As you will observe, a communication officer such as myself commands a fine salary. You are certainly exquisitely dressed for a communication service officer. Back in the day, how much did they earn? I mean, nowadays I don't think communication service officer is that good. Even dispatcher at the police is not earning excellent salary. Exquisite, as you would put it. Exquisite salary. Lower your rank to 600? Oh, okay. I mean, like I said, I don't want my house on level max, honestly. So you have a little need to make use of the services provided by the pawnbroker trade. I mean, honestly, it was easy. We were in the, 7 270 maybe? 276, 280 plus? Probably in the 300 range. I mean, we were doing 29 egg, almost. So 29 egg should be in the 300 zone. 28, then there were a couple of matches with 29 first. Well, literally, I didn't feel like dealing with it. That's there's 157 difficulties having misplaced in my purse while on an errand, which is why upon my fine black overcoat, you couldn't even fit inside! Get out! When you put the little coat, the overcoat thing, you know, Stitch is starting to burst. You claimed that it was your overcoat. Obviously, in my haste, I clean forgot that the music box was in its pocket. And yet there is a note on that that's for McGilded. I'm a collector of rare and unusual music box music. I first met Mr. McGild at the Gentleman's Club in the city and was interested to discover that he shared my penchant for that area. So the disc in question is a pre-production sample. I promise to let Mr. McGill hear it. But then you forgot that it went in the pocket of the overcoat you were forced to pound. Oh shit. Gina didn't mention any of that in the testament 2 months ago. Because McGill has threatened her to keep her mouth shut, which means that if we dig too deeply here, it's going to expose Gina's perjury. Oh dear, this is complicated, isn't it? Yeah, she lied 2 months ago about the shady McGill character. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused of filthy gutterling on the question. Huh? So you're saying that Mr. Lestrade lifted the ticket from your pocket bag. Despite being mindful of danger when walking in the insalubrious areas has her kind frequent. How rude!
Objection!
Let's do this, rude Jose. Mr. Lestrade did no such a thing. Well, of course you would take that stance, but the girl is a regular offender. True. You came to the pawnbrokery that day prepared with all the information you needed to identify the defendant you were looking for. That's what brought you to Windy Banks. Yeah, you prepared for, you know, extra this weekend? But like I said, you know, on my last stream, it's gonna be a shorter one. I worked this weekend. My learned friend is a veritable fond of nonsense. Excuse me? I concur with the prosecution. What? Judge! You will refrain from conjecturing in this way, exactly. Oh my. Then I'll continue with my testimony for what possible use it can be. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. Had you ever been to Windy Zone before? Of course, only once for the purpose of pawning something. But like many, I enjoy browsing in such establishments. So when you notice that the pickpocket had taken your ticket, you chase after her, is that correct? That's right, I didn't notice at first, of course, such is the art of the pickpurse. But when I did, I headed to the pawnbrokery at once, in order to reclaim my coat before the thief could. I was merely trying to recover what was rightfully mine in the first place. Say why he lies because he knows we have no evidence to contradict him on this. Oh, interesting. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. Yes, it was taken by Inspector Gregson here, wasn't it? That's right, that was the very man. Apparently the police are collecting anything that has a connection to McGill that has evidence.
Excuse me!
What are we gonna talk here? What do you mean? The last remark of Mr. Graydon made in his testimony seemed to trouble you in some way. No, it didn't? You sure? Let me ask you this, Inspector. Why is Scotland Yard gathering Mr. McGill the possessions? Why is he? I can tell you something like that, Sunshine. What is it, Inspector? Investigative secrets? Yes, exactly, you should know all about that. Magnus McGilt, who died so unexpectedly after his trial 2 months ago. A man renowned throughout the capital for his great contribution to public life, and yet he had a dark side too. Where are you going with this, Ben Zeke? I suppose the police are dealing with the aftermath of his nefarious activity, are they? That's enough. Coppers like me have duties to carry out that we're not at liberty to talk about. That's all you need to know. Duties conferred by Lord Strongheart, I presume. The Lord Chief Justice appeared to have great faith in you, Inspector. Oh shit. We are going for the Lord Chief of Justice, Strongheart. You better answer, Gregson. I'm also very acquainted with Lord Strongheart. He gave me the chance to be a lawyer. The bottom line is, if you want to get more out of me, you're gonna need Lord Strongheart's palm print first. Wow, going out against the prosecutor too. That's a rare sight for a police officer, I must say. Though in my time, I have seen, you know, a couple of them going against prosecution as well. Something going on between Gregs and them. I mean, the Lord Strongheart might not be pure as well. He might be onto something. Well, it appears that the inspector has revealed all he is at liberty to reveal. Let us listen to your testimony. Wow. In other words, I have absolutely no reason to break into the shop late at that same time.
Hold it!
Let's see. But perhaps you've seen something of value among the forfeited items? No, not at all. Really? The valuer was brought in by the police to assess everything in the shop. Without exception, every article on the shelves was common or garden brick and rack. It's clear. And you broke into the shop later that day in order to recover Mr. McGill's disc. Have you not been listening, man? Even if I wanted to recover this, you may recall that it had been seized by the police that afternoon. It was no more in the shop that night than I. As I keep saying, I simply had no reason to break in. So there was nothing of McGill left in the shop that night, nothing this man might have been after? I wonder if that's really true. A box, okay? There should be a box. Because he did that 2 days ago. Hold on. So we have this that's on the 15, one gentleman's overcoat for £1, but there's also this box, a small box. The box. Where's the box? That's the question. We go for the box, guys. I mean, you do have a reason. You were going after the box too. The box might be the music box because we learned earlier that, you know, back in the days apparently, you know, different companies make different music boxes and stuff, and you can insert the metal disc in order for it to play some music. However, each individual music box is it's special in its own way that it can only play the disc made by the same company. So if you're gonna use a music box from another company or another organization or whatever, then it will not play the proper sound for the music disc in question. Now, this is my assumption here, so I don't know whether it is a music box, but surely it's a small little box. we're gonna go for it.
Objection!
Now, this was well when the events of Magnus be gilded instruction, you knew that, and you went there with the intention of obtaining it for yourself.
Objection!
Conjecture again, and in any case, the disc was taken into custody by the police that afternoon. The witness has no reason to visit the pawnbroker again that night. Objections! Sorry, my learned friend, but that's not true. Oh, we're going back to the remark of the learned friend. Mr. McGill had another article in Pawn and MiniGames, as this second pawnbroker's ticket proved. Ah! There were 2 articles belonging to Mr. McGill in the MiniGames pawnbroker. The reason you broke into the shop that night was to recover the second. Together with your 2 accomplices, the Skulkin brothers. Aye. This is the second ticket. What had the men deposit a smallpox? A rather vague description, it seems to me. Are you suggesting that I broke into the pawnbroker with these clowns in order to steal some trinket box? I believe there are adequate ground to suspect that. This is absurd! Why on earth would I do such a thing? Once the article has been forwarded, I can simply walk into the shop and purchase it. There would be absolutely no need for me to resort to theft. Indeed, the witnesses make a solid argument, so that means that for some reason, this Graydon needed the small box that very night.
Objection!
Doink! It's time to put an end to this nonsense, my lord. Could you be a little bit less cryptic, Lord Venzik? I do hate to ruin my learned friend's argument, but the truth is quite incontrovertible. On the night in question, no small boxes was taken from Windybank's pawnbroker. And rest assured the prosecution can prove it. Oh, really? Inspector, shows the photographic prints to the court if you please. Yes, sir. What prints? These prints were taken from one of the detective's security cameras. Again! I mean, if you have all the proofs, you just show it right off the bat. The victim established was furnished with automatic camera in 2 locations. One was set to capture the counter when Mr. Windybanks received his customer, and the other was set to capture the shelf on which the article was placed for sale once forfeited. According to the information on the ticket, Mr. McGill's small box had been forfeited already 2 days before. It's 9 PM on 13th of April to be precise, which means that it would have been on the shelf of the forfeited item in the shop front. Now, what I have here is the print taken by one of the camera about 2 hours before the incident, 11 PM. A very full shop, it would appear. There's a small box there. Then here we have another print. This one was taken about 2 hours after this. So we have 2 pictures to compare. Well, now we're gonna find the errors. Though I must say that placing them side by side leave me cold. I mean, I need a stereogram. Dear me, that's starting to make my head ache. Is there any differences? Obviously, as scholar would consider death as one of the possible motives. We explore the possibility that something has been taken in addition to the victim's life. So you men have already compared these 2 prints thoroughly, Inspector. Yes, sir. Counted every single item in each of the 2 photographic prints. Why 2 hours before and 2 hours after? Well, 1 hour after? Exactly the same number are present. Nothing was taken from the pawnbroker that night in question. Nothing more than a hopeful fantasy. Wait. Stop dancing! I might have been able to break him down. You know what? I've been thinking. Stereogram. I wonder if these two photographs really are exactly the same. What is your position? Do I have the two photographs? No. I cannot even see them. I need to use the stereos. I'd like to try something if I may. Try something? What do you mean the stereo part?
Take that!
Yeah, I wonder if use the stereos. Stereoscope? What a surprise! Come on, Bruno! There we go now! Look through the eyepiece. It's a box! That small box? I mean, it's right here, sir. I mean,
Take that!
almost identical. However, there is one minor discrepancy between them. When you view the two pictures stereoscopically, wink, it is indeed a small box. A single area standout has been different. The location of the small box! Unbelievable! See? 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 See?
You're right, how extraordinary!
Give me a second. Drink some apple ciders. Lemonade apple cider. In fact, it is so cute. The thing is so cute. It's a cute thing I want to try. Lemonade. With cider cocktail. It's like it's saying crackling carbonated cider cocktail with lemonade flavor. I mean, it's like embossed too, so even the can itself. Honestly. I mean, you guys don't see it, but these things, this entire apple thing, like enclosed. So when I touch it, the words inside. I found it a little bit cute, so I bought it. It might be absolutely disgusting too, but whatever. Oh, sour. Not as sweet as I thought it would be. Not my favorite. What this tells us is very simple. Mr. Mickey's small box was not stolen for the winning events on the night in question. However, there can be no doubt that it was Woo. And then return it to its place on the shelf. Is it good then? Yeah. I've had better cider. I mean, if it was only because I like it when, you know, I drink cider that is a little bit sweeter, this one is not sweet. I mean, even though it has sugars inside, it's definitely cute inside. No. It's not sweet enough. Yeah, it's not sweet enough cider. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. The very same box I just identified in those photographic prints. It was moved. Mindless guesswork. What if it was? So a box was moved on the shelf. Nothing was stolen, which means quite simply that nothing was changed. That might be true, but it changes everything. How can that possibly be? The crucial point is the fact that what's moved was a small box. In other words, we have to consider what might have been inside that box, right? Yeah, what was inside? I'm suggesting that we need to examine the box as soon as possible. A vital piece of evidence sitting on the shelf at Whitney's bank as we speak.
Objection!
That won't be necessary. Some little box belonging to a woman who died 2 months ago can possibly be relevant to this trial. The court does not uphold your objection, Lord Van Zee. Bailiff! You're the judge is like, no, shut up. Get me that box. Obtain the small box in question and bring it back here for further examination. Take that, Lord Van Zee. You may dress very nicely. There's still a judge up there that says, shut up. Oh, look at that. Look at that fierce stare. Like, come on. Ali. Karen. We should have a report within half an hour. I think perhaps we should recess for a short while until the evidence is brought forth. They'll be hoodwinked by such a farce. Disappointing. I beg your pardon, Lord Van Zee. This is nothing but a smokescreen, a Nipponese specialty, you would see. What are you trying to say? My learned friend has persisted with the same line of reasoning from the very beginning, that this witness' intent was to steal an article belonging to Mr. McGilder from a pawnbrokery. Yet common sense tells us that none of the article have value enough to be worth stealing in the first. You don't determine the value of something based on, you know, monetary values. There could be some other values that it's on those things. Sir, to break into the place for the purpose of stealing such a commonplace property. I mean, he could be holding, valuable information. It could be, sentimental values. You don't determine the values of something based on, money. If your lordship recalls, Mr. McGill perished 2 months ago, immediately after the conclusion of his trial, a trial in which he was found not guilty. A trial in which it was established he was an upstanding member of society, his reputation implied, in fact. So I propose a toast to my learned friend and his most insightful defense. How dare you? The article is this upstanding member of society pawn was entirely ordinary, a black overcoat that just happened to have a music box. This in one of his pocket and a small box. What is that small box though? I assure you I wouldn't accept even if the men tried to make a gift of such things to me. So why are you preventing me? None of these were gold or jewel. Why are we talking about monetary value? The prosecution argument is not undeniably compelling. It is incumbent on the defense now to bolster its argument. To explain what possible significance these commonplace articles found by these fine citizens could have, can I examine it before I talk about it? Enjoy. gosh. Can I prove it though? That's the thing. I can say whatever I want, but if I cannot prove it in the court, martial court, then whatever I say has no bearing whatsoever. You and I both know that. We know McGill the true character, we know that this is significant even if we don't know why. But if we explain all that to the court at this point, we will have to acknowledge that McGill's acquittal 2 months ago was a mistake. That the defense argument was flawed, on the basis of false information. And that would mean admitting that Gina committed perjury. Is that why he's doing this now? Because he anticipated everything? But maybe this could be a great opportunity for us. What? Well, what is it that you always say, Runo? Sooner or later the truth comes out, every time. The exact significance of the things that made Gilda deposit with Mr. Minvey is something that only Gina can explain to the court. But if I pull her on the stand to testify about that now, it could critically damage our chance of winning this case. Oh boy. What's the right thing to do here? Proposal. While the court awaits the arrival of Mr. McGill's small box, I would like to call the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, to the witness stand. To what end? It is to do with various article deposited at Windy Banks by Mr. McGill, my lord, as information relating to them. I believe it would be beneficial for the court to hear what she has to say. It will prove the significance of the article in question once and for all. Well, things are becoming interesting, so he knows. I presume you consider the implication of testimony you're proposing, right? In particular, the impact it will have on the accused standing, and indeed your own. Just I have. Wow. The prosecution accepts the defense proposal. I move to interrupt the cross-examination of the current witness and hear from the accused herself. Very well, if you have no objections. Wow. Gina, let's go. Your witness currently instead may step down until further notice. Then I shall bid you good day. Wait. You, sir, shall remain in the stand while Miss Lestrade testified. As you wish. Alright then. Gina, let's go. Let's go, Gina. This will be a rough day for you. Positive Wendy's has vulnerable. Intimately related with the omnibus case, the trial of which we had heard in this court 2 months ago. And I remember this young lady brought before me in the trial as well. That's right, my lord. Her testimony helped to establish the innocence of the defendant. The omnibus case was intriguing to say the least, and now here we all are again. The same player in that trial facing each other once more. Twist of fate is what I was gonna say, but he said it for me. Perhaps my Nipponese friend. Let's go. Allow me to recap the event of 2 months ago. So we're going back to the 2 months ago case. And the old brickmaker was stabbed to death in an omnibus running along London's Winter Street. A Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in the carriage, Mr. McGill. Naturally, he was the prime suspect for the murder, but as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged. That the murder in fact took place above the defendant's head on the roof deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight into the carriage below. It was Mr. Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility to her. Indeed it was. At the time of the incident, Miss Lestrade was concealed under the seat in the carriage, hoping to pick the pockets of unsuspecting passengers. Then immediately after trial, having been acquitted of the murder, Mr. McGill died in this very courtroom in the most extraordinary of the circumstances. He was burned to death. A mystery that remains unsolved, even now 2 months on. As indeed does the omnibus murder itself. Be that as it may, I recall neither this nor this small box being mentioned in the course of those proceedings. Miss Lestrade, would you tell the court now, please? What really happened in the omnibus 2 months ago? I don't know what you mean. I already said all of what I know. And what about everything you told us yesterday from inside your prison cell? Please, Miss Lestrade, this is extremely important. Remember, little girl? If it transpires that you willfully withheld information in a trial 2 months ago, the Home Office will seek to prosecute you for perjury. And naturally, you will lose all credibility as a witness. Although, let's face facts. You have little credibility to lose. Excuse me? Don't listen to him, please. You have to trust Bruno now. We're on your side. Alright then, I'll talk. It's the right choice, Gina. My learned friend is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about his ears, so be it. Evil Joshua. I must confess I'm struggling to understand what on earth is happening here. However, it would appear that Mr. McGill's pawn article and that extraordinary cases of the omnibus harbor secrets of which we have been hitherto unaware of. Did I burst water? I mean, I'm not a girl, and I'm not pregnant, so my water cannot be burst. Neither is my pipe. You will now give your testimony before about the events of 2 months ago. You will reveal the truth. Commodity is solely lacking in your original statement. Go ask Ali about it. Don't yell about it, about bursting water. I'm not the one responsible. I cannot burst water. This is it then. Everything's going to come out like Van Zig said. This court could bring the whole courtroom down above my ears, but as a lawyer I'm prepared to take that risk. The real truth of the omnibus case. The truth is that Brickmaker Cove was in the cabin on the whole time. When the Irishman dragged me out from under the seat, I saw that disc on the floor. All of a sudden I hear a scream from over my head and the pair of the roof went off to call the slot. That's when McGill slipped the driver some things to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout. He threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing to no one about what I've seen or heard. This is outrageous! What you've just told the court bears almost no resemblance to your testimony 2 months ago. As you say, my lord. Then there's every chance that I may have abdicated in error in McGill trial. It sounds very much to me as if the main man deliberately deceived this court in an effort to cover up the most wicked of the teams. Without doubt, your lordship is correct. A great injustice was done in this courtroom 2 months ago. The action of the accused in the trial of this witness and of my learned friend are extremely inexcusable. I don't believe it. The whole trial was a farce. It was all a lie. That McGill the fellow was rotten to the core just like that pickpocket. Don't forget that lawyer from the east. They were all in together. You're wrong. The lot of you, Mr. Naruto, the lawyer there, didn't know nothing about it. Humbug! They're digging the freaking sidewalk. I mean, you broke the pipe. You put some doo-doo inside. So big that it clogged the pipe. It was your fault. Now we really expected to believe that. He really stitches everyone up, didn't he? What an operation to get the men off scoop. Unforgivable stuff. The lies have to stop. Yes, the defense made a terrible error of judgment. I intend to take full responsibility and suffer whatever consequences I deem appropriate. However, it's imperative that the court allow the witness to elaborate on her testimony. Because the true significance of McGill's pawn article must be brought to light. Very well, my learned student friend. Given the depths of calamity you have just plunged yourself into, this may well be worth hearing. Let's go. Word fails me, the situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo, I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial. And you were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Mr. Lestrade? If I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of the seats. That's right, it's pitch black under there so I can see nothing at all. I feel certain that you claim Mr. McGill was the sole passenger, did you not? False testimony, my lord. That's what he told me I had to say. But it's important that you tell the truth now. Were Mr. McGill and the victim acquaintances? I don't know, but I did hear them talking a lot. What were they talking about? Well, I couldn't hear too well, but if I had to say, I think it was about money or something. They kept talking about buying and not buying. Business dealing of some kind. Well, anyway, they got louder and louder and started to sound like a proper fight. I was pretty scared by then, I hardly dared to breathe, and then all of a sudden I heard a noise like someone keeling over on the floor. It was booming loud and all. And I believe you let out an involuntary scream. That's what gave me away. When the Irishman dragged me out from under the seat, I saw that disc on the floor. Whoops. Press that.
Hold it!
Was it this you saw, this disc? Yeah, I reckon it probably was. It was probably right to the cove lying on the floor. Could this have belonged to the victim, perhaps? I don't know, but McGill picked it up pretty smartish. And then he sat in the cove with the knife in his belly up on the seat. What did he say to you at that time? He told me not to say a word about what I've seen or heard to no one. About the disc and all. I was that scared. The way he was looking at me, I thought if I didn't go along with it, I'll get stuck with that knife too. Then he started asking me a load of questions, like what was my name, where I live, and then he asked me about being a diver too, but after a while what had happened in the carriage was noticed. Yeah, that's right. At first there was a kind of rapping noise. All of a sudden I screamed from my head and the pair of the roof went off to call the slobs. There were two gentlemen occupying seats on the roof deck, I believe. That's right. Must have looked down to the skylight and noticed Cope with the knife in its gut. And they screamed. The driver pulled up the horse and McGill got me out of sight. Out of sight? Where? Back under the seat where I started off. Once the carriage came to a halt, two cows from the roof ran off to fetch the slopes. If they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear they were entirely unrelated to the incident. So that left McGill and the driver and you still at the scene. Yeah, only the driver didn't know I was there because I was on the seat. I heard the cabin door open and a voice from outside. The driver, yes, he's also testifying in the trial, I believe. fellow who went by the name of Beepo, if memory serves. What did McGilda and the driver say to each other? I don't know what happened and stuff like that mainly. That's when McGilda slipped the driver some pins to do a run to the pawn shop around.
Hold it!
Wow. Okay. The pawn shop obviously being Windy Banks on Baker Street. Driver gave false testimony in the trial as well. Perhaps the excursion to the Pongaree slipped his mind where he was in the stand. Poor man Zeke! McGilda took off his coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up, all careful like before handing it over. When I saw him do that, I remember thinking that coat and what's in it has got to be worth a few bucks. For sure that this must be worth more than Mr. Windybank was suggesting, wasn't she? I remember her quibbling with him over the price of the afternoon on the phone. The driver looked pretty happy when McGilda flashed some brass in his face. He went running off like a lake. Then the bog trotter called to me and told me to come out from the drag cabin. They better replace your sidewalk? No, he'll just leave that big hole there. He threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing to no one about what I've seen or heard. Threatened you how exactly? Told me I'll only be able to scarper if I did exactly what he said. Which include giving false testimony in court 2 months ago? Yeah, that's it. And there was one other thing he said. I know you mean? Which was... He told me I have to hang on to the ticket from the pawn shop and make sure not to lose it. Ticket? Well, I never. Said that if he didn't show up to get the ticket off me before 2 months passed, I had to go to the pawn shop and pay the money to keep it in luck. Stopped him for being forfeited. He left me with some brass to pay for it. But really, why on earth would Mr. McGill have done such a thing? Deposit his overcoat with a pawnbroker before the arrival of police, it makes no sense. There would seem to be only one logical explanation, my lord. But McGilda had the driver deposit of Windy Banks as something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs. Apologize to the trilogy to come to Switch, should be soon, right? Anyway, after that he let me go, so I leg it off before the cops show up. Well done, Gina. It cannot be easy to tell the truth like that. Gina's really put a faith in you, yay. Finally speaking, you have to face a charge of perjury once this trial is over, so I need to use the time we have now to get as much info as possible, okay? Time to really go for it, press for every statement I already did. Another thing, what's that? Take a look at those two, isn't it strange that they've been whispering to each other the entire time? They're having a secret discussion or something. I'm not sure I'm completely comfortable with that. I wonder if there's anything I didn't do. Go buy it then! I mean, I already played the individual Apologists, the trilogy, so I'm definitely not gonna buy the trilogy. Certainly interesting. I mean, should I press it? Why did I press it?
Hold it!
Until your birthday? Let's see. So definitely not this one. found the seeds on the last casual omnibus of the day after the stab. Fiction was issued with 3 eyewitness tests. However, so far resulted in an acquittal due to insufficient evidence. What is this? Capper if I did exactly what it said. I'm stuck there. What am I supposed to do? Press her. I did press every single stick. Why is it not working?
Hold it!
Not this one I wanna press! Wait.
Hold it! Hold it!
They going on? Are they digging right now? I told you stop making such a big doodle. You eat too much even though you're Yoshi. Stop putting eggs into the toilet. It's not made for that. You rude! Flushing down all those eggshells to the toilet. I mean, if it's a big pipe, the main pipe that is broken, I mean, they have to dig it to fix it, right? It's an emergency thing. Especially it's cold like that, so if you don't go start fixing it, eventually it might freeze. Tonight it's a below freezing point, way below freezing point. So they might cause, you know, more damage to the infrastructure, the piping. Otherwise, you know, water is gonna surge all over the place, it's gonna freeze, so they have to dig through all the ice and whatnot. It's a big thing. So it's the same thing Netflix Avatar series is coming out. Now side order releases. Yumi's not playing that much of a Splatoon. I'm missing something. mean, it must be one of the tickets. Why you don't have so much homework on your lap? I mean, you can go to sleep. I mean, you can go have a little bit of a swim outside. I'm stuck here. What makes you just slip to drive something to do? All of a sudden, I scream of a meal there. It has to be one of them. Even though I pressed every single one.
Hold it!
Yuck, water, it's all muddy? I mean, it has poopy eyes. Oh, it's about the money, right?
Objection!
That's not it. Yeah, I'm stuck here. What should I do? Probably is. I mean, yeah, Yoshi, you ate everything, right? What do I do here? Not finding any consistency in her statement. Nor do I know any proof. I mean... You do eat everything? Poop? We were talking about poop, Joshi. You gross. Ew, not that! Cat Joshi.
Excuse me!
Trying to give me a heart attack. You only eat strawberries. I mean, some people do call it dingleberries too, so technically berries. That's what we're talking about. Ali, do something about Joshi. He gross. He gross. Pull the other one, Sunshine. You think I've got anything to say about this shady gent like this? I have nothing to say about uncouth detective after he deprived me of that was rightfully mine. They clearly been talking the entire time with cross-examining Gina, as if they have been negotiating. You can do anything to him? I'm not talking Yumi, I say Ali. Ali can do something, you know. You have no hold on Joshi. I do something? I mean... no. I have a real understanding of what actually transpired on that omnibus. It would appear on that night 2 months ago a negotiation was taking place on that omnibus. Concerning this, however, matters did not run smoothly. When the party involved began to quarrel over price, Mr. McGill took what he wanted at the expense of the other man's life. Which proves my point, that this is still extremely valuable at some point. Oh god. You don't want to be unmodded? The gas pipe? Well, you will explode. End of the story. No more homes for you. Thought in his content was due to be forfeited. I didn't know what I should do with the ticket. I mean, the cop died right after his trial. I knew that. Try to claim out as your own? Well, why not? They were not only gonna be forfeited, what should I give them? Anyway, you can blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime. But I think Mr. McGill was prepared to kill in order to take possession of his desk. Do you know why that would be? Eh? I ain't got a clue! Oh my. What a fair bit of brass. He was probably gonna sell it. You can blame me for thinking that. Thinking ain't no crime. My lord. Oh, the box in question? Alright, breaking the box then. Mysterious little box deposited by Mr. McGill 2 months ago. What is this one? Well, there's no doubt in my mind that it's the key piece in this far-reaching puzzle. Continued. Alright. What time is it? Alright, let's move on then. I still have a little bit of time. 40 minutes. What is this box? Is that a music box? A small box deposit with a pawnbroker by Mr. McGill 2 months ago. And on the night of Mr. Windybank's murder, the only item on the shelf that was touched by whoever broke into the shop. So what? I end the street? Quick, let's open it and see what's inside. Let's see. What is this? It is a music box! Good gracious, this is no ordinary box. On an inkling that might be the case, it would appear that the box housed a miniature music box. I think it would be reasonable to assume that, oh, so I don't have to do that myself, make the link. They are gonna do it for us. So it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for the payback of this disc. Please know you have no say on it. So here we have the means to play back Mr. McGill's disc. Deposit and Windybanks at much of the same time. Not strictly correct. It was not McGill the disc, it was the disc of his victim in the omnibus. Sure, but why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGill? You. Well, how about we listen in? I believe that I should be complete if we listen to the music on the disc.
Hold it!
Wait, my lord! Good grief. The music boxes is, they are unrelated to the case. No need to spoil the sombre atmosphere in the courtroom with some silly bit of music. Since we very well have motivated the culprit in the case to commit murder, clearly there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understand what's happening. The prosecution has no objection, but no, that piece of evidence is police property now, you can't. Shut up. Clearly Scotland Yard some vessel has some vested interest here, but it is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening. No further delays, please play the disc, play it. Are we gonna play it on the wrong side or something? Morse code, right? It's either Morse code it's definitely long, short, short, long, short. Not well versed in Morse code, right? It's not broken. It's abomination mere noises. No, you hearing noises does not mean it's noises. Dun, dun, dun. Short, short, long, short. Extremely on edge. My Nipponese friend answered me this. Yes. This takes place in England, yes. We're traveling from Japan to England. There are two, well, this entire game, there are a couple of one cases in Japan and then one cases on the both when we move from Japan to England. And then now we are doing that in England. Well, Great the British Empire because it's back in the at the end of the 1892 that has been determined because they were talking about the Great Exposition, the Great Fair in Paris and whatnot. So it's roughly around that time. It's in the 1890s. So definitely before the First World War, with steamboat and whatnot, they were talking, exclusively about, telecommunication, Morse code, and everything, and steamboat and all those kind of things. A little bit of has to be during the Victorian era. It is because they were talking about the Queen. So Queen Victoria is what we're talking about. Otherwise, there are basically two eras, I believe, that deals specifically, with queens as the sole region, which is Victoria and Elizabeth. Otherwise, there are some kings and whatnot. So long live the king and long live the queen. So it's definitely during the 1890s specifically because they were talking about the Great Exposition and whatnot. Okay. Just because this is a Muslim doesn't mean that's a minute sound we're hearing a music. Looks at that, the smell vanished from Brayden's lips. On the right night, I must be. Making deduction based on how people react to what you say. Acting just like
Objection!
early. Well, like I said, 1890s. 1880 something 90s. I would like to hear what they are. Do you like them as my Japanese friend? Or so. The depth of your ill-informed argument. Exactly, the music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness. Yeah. Very truly. And I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all. Really, the way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway. The sound it's producing has some significance that isn't music. I mean, we have a juror that is of communication. Something just struck me, Runa. I feel like recently in the past few hours even. I mean, the juror was tapping like that. One of the jurors is actually a communication officer too. Oh, the Amazon sees so far the testimony we've heard. It's all pointing to a single answer now. The prosecution demands that my learned Nepalese friend present proofs now. The question is, what proof do I have? I can present someone. I can present someone. Took a pic of it. Joshi, we need no hose of yours. You lewd. Oh. Horse. I cannot present someone. Are we gonna present this? Do you have anything that related to Morse code though? That's a little bit of a stretch of prevent today's pen newspaper. But I mean, I don't see anything else that has any relation to... Oh, go whip him. He likes that. I said I don't want to see your holes. You gross. Alright, I'm gonna present the newspaper. I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch now. But it shows that at least it's gonna be, you know, linked to some form of communication. There are nothing else.
Take that!
You look a little further down the page. This is a very serious matter being investigated at highest level, I understand. I have heard that international transmission are supposedly secure lines somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. And presumably those transmissions are in the form of wire telegram. Viewer number 5, your input please. Stop. Me, sir? You told the court before that you work at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? That's correct. So, and that particular station where you work deals with government communication and newspaper reports. Yes. We're not your run-of-the-mill communication station and all. Our work is extremely important. And tell me, is this not very familiar sound? You don't mean to say, is it? It's a telegram. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegram from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communication officer. Are you suggesting that the music box disc contains stolen government secret in Morse code? There we go. There we go. There we go. But this is high treason, counsel deserving of capital punishment. Too much vocabulary. What is treason? What is capital punishment? While sovereign government confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay utmost any price. And on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. But in the end, McGill perished and all important this lay unclaimed in the palm. My word, in which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been besides himself at work. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country, it would reveal an act of high treason punishable by death. So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it, and in order to do that, it would have to gain entry to the pawnbroker legally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind by Mr. McGill would incriminate him too much if he got into the wrong. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous! Absolutely preposterous! And in response to the fan, you claim completely innocent, do you? Now to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign of a lawyer has been prattling away. So then how about you decipher the information then? Then by only counter the charge, sir? The prosecution demands a witness testified. Responds to the accusation brought by the defense. You? Delighted, I'm sure. Oh wow. Give me a second. Alright, let's go. Not being the most flagitious in offense. What? How do you pronounce it? For which a law of this land sanctions a capital punishment, but the heinous act of high treason is no less serious a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon. Oh, now he's serious. So then, let us proceed. You may. Hold it! Detective? You gotta let us have a rabbit and a pork here, Governor. We got things to say. What? Who do you think you are? My name is Nash Gulkin, is professional baddies. But we ain't baddie enough to sell out our motherland. Okay, that's right. Well, what they call? The Three Skulkin Brothers. Very bad timing. A detective is a Skulkin brother. A mere communication of physical cost is still confidential government information. Besides, the sound produced by that music box are even Morse code. Low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded anyway was it not of no relation to the man. Look, all we done is break into the gap the other night like what we told you. What he told us to do, okay? If we'd known there was some dodgy government secret involved, we wouldn't have touched it. Maybe you guys didn't know, but maybe he lied to you. That's the thing. Mr. Skulkin? One Mr. Do? Governor, what's up? Do I take it that you now admit to the crime? Not on another question, you did gain entry to the premise illegally. And moreover, you did so as a party of 3 in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here. We did, Gov, we did. What says you that to that, Mr. Graydon? I have no idea what these two ruffians are referring to. You little rather getting us mixed up with all this monkey businesses. You never said nothing of a government secret. It was supposed to be a straight up job. And what about the geezer who shot it was, hey? Poor old Brook didn't have to die, did he? Oh, they are arguing now. I deny the accusation. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to be so significant in the proceeding. However, as it has, I would admit it into court. Record. Okay, I got the box now. I was trying to find a box when I was doing the investigation part. It was such a hard thing. Now I know why. I mean, I knew that the box would be significant. Well, something significant, obviously, but I mean, this is inside. Despite that, the sound it produces are neither musical nor do they appear to have any meaning. It just doesn't make any sense. I wonder. There's more to this than meets the eyes. Maybe we'll have recovered all his secret yet. So there's some other secrets? Is that what we're telling? So that each one produced, but this gum is very strange. All the teeth are exactly the same length. It means that no matter which tooth is plucked by the passing bombs, the music box will always make the same sound. There has to be some significance to that. Yes, but what is it? What the heck is this? There's a button! Looks like the bottom of it opens up as well. Open it! Oh. So you got 2 discs, they would play both. There is another disc though. Earlier they were talking about another disc. But where's the second disc is the question. There should be a second disc somewhere. Don't I have? I only have one disc. That's the same disc that was played for the Morse code. Talking about this one. That's the one they put. So they already put that here. Okay? Unless we're talking on another disc, but we need to discover through, you know. We never got the second disc. We know the existence of a second disc when I was doing the investigation part earlier. They were talking about another disc. Well, he was talking about it. But we were never shown the second disc. So probably through pressing and stuff, we might, you know, have a second disc being submitted into the evidence.
Hold it!
Let's push on to see what we're gonna do. Government committees are being intercepted. How could I possibly know? What do you mean by that? Any important government communication are handled by high-level officers by specialists, right? So general members of the staff in the station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information. Oh no! Stop! Must say something! Okay. Juror number 5, what do you have to say? We regular communication station officer and as slowly as you are being led to believe. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraph used by the ministry. Okay, so they might not be the one using it, but they are definitely the one prepping up for it. So setting up and testing it, so they might have been, you know, tempered by them. Using some form of some mean. Oh, and Mr. Graydon is the team leader too, so he does have a little bit of an access to all the equipments they have. Fascinating. So he's not a lowly communication officer, he's a team leader too. Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Okay. Choose another idol. So you have access to the equipment used for this confidential communication. You do have access. Well, what of it? The transition are always made behind closed doors so they can be heard. All messages are sent and ciphered. Normal employee couldn't possibly understand. Oh no, stop, must say something. Mr. Gray attend meetings with ministry technician and ministry communication team. So he assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in important international communication. So he's received the top prize at the cipher cracking convention 5 years in a row now. So he definitely has some knowledge in deciphering all those, you know, cryptic messages that other nation might send and stuff. So he has the capability. Graydon is high skill operator stuff, current presence of idol. Well, your idol will appreciate it if you keep your mouth shut. My, aren't we abrasive here? So you should really pick your idol more carefully. Exactly my opinion, isn't it? I tell you, this lawyer's accusation are completely unfounded. So besides the sound produced by that music on even more so, what do you mean by that? I mean, it's missing another part. To anyone with a brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to that music for even a few seconds. Of course. Surely it can be that my learned friend isn't filling in Morse code. You're genuinely shocked at my ignorance. Ha ha ha. It would be more than happy to be basic for you, sir. A lesson here in court? Morse code is a continuous series of 2 distinct tones, one long and one short, right? A short dot and a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters. I see. For example, this is A. Okay, but when you listen to the sound produced by this musical, you only hear one tone. Because it's on the other side. The assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code. Because the tone is on the other side. That music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Perhaps you may consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersion in the future. Nothing to say. Yo. Some are being leaked using the music box. So many other things will slot into place so nicely.
Objection!
Yeah, I'm missing another disc. Where's the second disc though? I can still prove that there is another part, but I need another disc, right? I mean, let's push it with this side.
Got it!
Another movement on the underside of the box. What? The two movements are linked together. In other words, you can put two discs in the music box, and the sound of both will play back at the same time. As the chord asserted, Morse code comprised of two tones, a short dot and a long dash. For a second disc in place, the music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message. Yeah, the question is, where is the second disc? This is beyond a joke, I'm sorry. This poor excuse for there are absolutely no evidence to support his claim. Though, of course, then why would there be a... I don't have the second disc. But as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the undeserving skill 2 months ago striking a deal over disc for disc. Exactly, had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Though as whole, it must have been an argument presented by the device with much promises. I believe the crossing should continue. I need the second disc though. Did he check the second disc is my question. He did get the undercut.
Hold it!
Let's press that. Now I'm gonna give the killer brickman stole the disc. Artisan Quarter some years ago, but people there remember little. How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information? How indeed! There must have been somebody else involved behind the scene in all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason in order to take it to the meeting with McGillet and negotiate a deal. Dear me. You may have it in me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you I have far more class than that. An old bricker from an artisan quarter, and this well-to-do communication officers. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together. That? Look, all we've done is breaking into the cabin all night like what we were told.
Hold it!
What were you told? Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean? That's it, yeah, who else, eh? Silly me thought he was just popping over for a nana after all them years, but the Rotter had a dodgy job for us. What about blackmail, eh, Ash? Ashley, right? Ashley, great. What about blackmail? Could be blackmail, could be everything. Let me stop you there, Mr. Skull. After all them years, you said. Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours? We are the sociable kind of buddies, you know? Sure, let's say Graydon is all... Oh, China. Yeah, let me pursue you. Is something wrong? Eh? No, the other one! What? Woomy? Ringo! When your brother was testifying for just now, he said something about that seems to cause you to react. Yeah, I was just remembering all days, that's all. We used to have right out laugh together way back when, together with Mr. Graydon. Yeah, with Ash. I mean, you look at him now in his fancy whistle and flute, and you wouldn't Adam and Eve it. But when he was younger, he was from the poor part of the town just like us. Is that so? But he was always a leery one. He had the brain, he had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas like what would never have gone through our head. God blame me! Ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton and Skulk and Milford? What? That was a court? What? Save it later! Your reminiscence is not playing this courtroom. And neither does your fruit. Leave the fruit alone! The geezers asked us a question and geezer! And we was answering. Yeah, we ended nothing wrong. Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you to on your trip down memory. Sure. Also, we can turn our attention back to the testimony, please. I don't know. Could that sentimental story be relevant? The brothers' last sentimental statement could have whole information. Okay, add it. I will permit the brother to supplement the testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to ask.
Hold it!
Sure, I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business? So there's a scheme we had going back when we were youngster, a bit of fun really. Deliver fresh milk to the local, that's what it was all about. That sounded alarmingly legitimate, that must be a catch, right? I should ask them to elaborate, but on what though? On the business then. Just yourself and Mr. Graydon involved? Yeah, that's it. Milverton and Skulk and Milford, is it? Where did the Milverton part come from? That's
Hold
it. How much longer are we expected to this tribal? You are not the one asking question, don't tell me hold it. You don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying? I wanna know. Tell me, why is it that it was only the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject? Because I will! Yeah, tell me. It weren't the happiest of home that one came from. His woman was struggling for money so much his wife worked out on him. She took the name Graydon. But Ash will always be Milverton to us. Oh, his name is Milverton! So that used to be your surname, did it? Of course not, this is all bumpkum. I've been a Graydon since I was born. Do you really think you can rely on the testament of these two thieves? So he has many names too. I wouldn't be surprised that he has another name too. You're a communication officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It would be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon. Ack! It would appear that Mr. and Mr. Sogan testimony has been reliable for once. You were born Ashley Milverton then. So if it is Milverton Ashley. So Mason Milverton is the victim of his dad. It's his dad. Yes. I mean, Ashley can be a boy's name. Yeah, I don't care about the Ashley part. It's more about the Milverton part. So the Mason's name was something Milverton, obviously. Rick Milverton? Well, that was from a previous case. Mason de Milverton. It's a prick. He was the victim from a previous case that was killed. Now that we know that he is a Milverton, he has a connection to the previous Mason, right? I mean, like Dominic could be a boy's name and a girl's name. Nowadays, you know, anyone can take any names. For all that matters, honestly. Did you change it? I can present. Now I can present it, right? Okay, I want to press this because I did not press this thing, but I can definitely go for sending proofs there. In the original testament, you said the door of the shop was ajar and that it was like some kind of a sign begging you to go in. But the truth is, you were planning to break into the windy lanes all along, weren't you? We were, Gov, we were! You're right there! Was that what he told us to do? It was his plan. Aiden? Did you not ask for the reason he did? I mean, normally he would, right? He said the place was full of stock worth nicking. That's what he told us before. Anyway, kinda was a load of cobbler. I wasn't best pleased, I can tell ya. They know the real reason, it doesn't sound like they were going to give it away. Let me present since we updated the record.
Objection!
Mr. Ashley Milverton, tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court? Because I haven't gone by that name for years, it means nothing to me. No, I don't think that's a real explanation here at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. Explain yourself, please, Consul. I mean, I have here the notes from Omnibus case, my lord, and as we all know, the victim, the men who were now understood to have been negotiating with Mr. McGill, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker, yes. And only Mason wasn't his sure name at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. Do you mean to say that the saint's alive? Mr. Ashley Milverton, is it not the case that the brickmaker Mr. Mason Milverton was your father? I don't. As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you join the civil service, and it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records. The truth is you have been illegally acquiring highly confidential information and selling it on to McGilded in collaboration with your father! Hey. The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth! The truth be said, that you collaborate with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealing with Magus McGill. And then of this music box, you mean console, yes. Stealing information being sent in secret government communication and selling it on to McGill, Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music boxes to encode the information. And presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong and a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever. But the deal with McGill went sour and the brickmaker met his end. But before he was arrested, McGill managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at the pawn room. Then, having learned of the situation, he appeared at Windy Banks 2 days ago in an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGill had placed in pawn there. But that attempt failed. One of the discs was seized by the police and the other you never found. So that same night, we never found the other disc, I'm not sure of that. So that same night, you enlisted the help of Skulking Brother and broke into the pawnbroker. This time determined to recover the second disc. So where is the second disc? We never knew nothing about it. So where is the second disc? On the night that Mr. Windybank was killed. So he took the second disc. Is that what we're getting at? He was moved because he took the second disc. The intruder to the pawnbroker touched one item and one item along the music box. As rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from the security camera feed. So the question that naturally begs answering is this: why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious, because it contained the second disc which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny that all of this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago? I refuse to accept any of this nonsense. There appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket. Oh, there we go, 2 nights ago. We know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windy Bank's pawnbroker. 1 took the life of the pawnbroker himself. 1 went to the detective, 1 struck the pouch around Mr. Shom's waist. The other 1, and the final bullet, went to the calendar. Struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having the first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that seems to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? Are you gonna deny it too? He got you now, me old China. Time to call it quick and croak, I reckon. Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Wow, now we're gonna admit. Clearly, I was a fool to think I could trust some common backslum thieves. Fine, I admit it. I was there in Winning Banks that night. Oh, there we go. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me. And as you noted, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. But that is all. I mentioned nothing more. Stealing government secret, negotiating with Mrs. McGill. As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort. He's not going to go down without a fight, not until I can show hard evidence. Oh. As now it does establish a crucial fact, which is, well, we know that one bullet was fired from each of the two firearms as evidence. A bullet from the skulking product gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Windybank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon's arm. So what's the last gun? That's my question. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself. And that leads us to one conclusion. Mr. Windybank was shot by a third gun, which can only have been fired by the third intruder. That's right, Mr. Graydon. Where's the third gun? Where's you?
Hold it!
Are we gonna go now? Oh, he's losing it. He's losing it! You little upstart. You made a great mistake when you summoned me here. And what is that? What's that supposed to mean? That's the gun. I was there at the pawnbrokers. I did my best to hide the fact naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I built for myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility of what? The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I might have witnessed a crucial moment. You see... Oh, we're gonna go there? This make me a key witness in this case and I have my hand firmly around the neck of your client. Oh, are we now? Are you suggesting you're gonna say the truth? I saw it all? Okay. The very moment that the pickpocket could point to the gun at the poor defenseless pawnbroker and shot him. Really? Let's go. Where is the gun? Order! Last act of this theatrical trial, Mr. Graydon. I trust you are fully aware of the implication here, right? If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer. Oh, I understand fully. Formal testimony once more. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw. Okay. Nothing would give me greater pleasure. You sneevering thugs. Let's go. Final showdown. The moment of the shooting, while these ruffians were jostling with the brokers, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Winnigan threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued a man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peepholes in the door, though. The accused in a black coat shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood spatter all over the wretched girl. Great. She tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. Then if she tossed it out the peephole, she would have been able to... I mean, at least the police that were investigating the scene would have been able to find the gun, right? Your claim, sir, on the oath to have clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger. Shall we go for that? It wasn't my intention to testify in this way, but you leave me no choice. But neither is my intention to be found guilty of murder I didn't commit. So you see, my hands have been forced. I tell you the truth now as an act of self-preservation, huh? Yes, well, sorry about that. Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused. And as I said, she was showered in his blood. Oh yes, quite sure. Someone be shown to have a vestige of blood that could be conclusive in his hair. Yeah, but the coat does not belong to her. Only very recently a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. So here's a true science, not some amateurist detective dubious foray into the world of chemistry. There's nothing dubious about Hurley's work! Ideas are no use to us here. In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand. Great. In Germany, the technique has already been... Why have we not used it? As a small quantity of the chemical region used, with your lordship's permission, we could shatter all vestige of that within minutes. Well, we know, don't we, that there's blood all over the front of the Guinea's coat. If they test it with their chemicals... Oh help, you're right. I was forgetting about what happened yesterday. I mean... While we wait for the result of it, proceed with a cross-examination. I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. So, it's 3 AM now. Let's see, how long do we have? So we still have quite a bit to do, honestly. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to end here, guys. I know I'm ending a little bit early, but now I have stuff to do in the morning, so I'm already not having much sleep I'm getting. Yeah, so I'll continue with this game, probably ending this court trial on next stream. And maybe if there's something else, we're gonna move on to something else. I think this is Chronicle, right? So there should be 2 games in there. So there are probably some other cases and stuff, so we can finish this case and we're gonna continue opening a second case and then a new case afterwards. We're gonna see. Alright guys, so yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this short stream. A little bit shorter than usual, but I don't have a choice here. And I'll be seeing you guys back on Wednesday. Wednesday, we're gonna do some Divine Force. We are already in the post game in that game as well. So we're gonna move on and tackle that trial, that tower, with probably the Ethereal Queen. And maybe if we have, a little bit of luck, Divine Force will be last stream on Wednesday. And then we're gonna move on to Splatoon 3 as usual on Friday with some extra work. We're gonna dedicate the entire stream, and Friday is also gonna be a little bit of a shorter stream, so I will be starting the stream a little bit earlier compared to the usual time, which is what, 1:15 AM my time. I'm probably gonna be aiming for 30 past midnight, somewhere around that time, maybe a little bit earlier. We're gonna see on Friday, but definitely we're gonna move a little bit earlier so that I can end roughly at around 3:30. just so that I can grab the little few sleep I can get because I'll be working on Saturday and Sunday. As usual, they are doing, you know, special events on those weekends that I'm working. But hey, listen, we don't have a choice. Okay, though. So for real though, I'm gonna head off. So you guys take care until see you next time. Bye now.